Hello there and welcome to another video here on this Esoteric Circle YouTube channel. My name is Pete Haskins and it is wonderful to have you here with me. Just want to invite you to the next live stream, which is coming up this coming Sunday. This is a Monday that I'm recording this. So on Sunday, November 28th, we are going to be having a live stream at 10 a.m. Central. That is a Sunday morning. I'm going to have the Sunday off from church and I'm going to be using that time that I normally am in the pulpit, and I'm going to be here with you on a live stream. So, looking forward to that, and welcome to our this new studio we have here. It's a little sunroom in our upstairs here on Pershing Avenue here in Menominee Falls. So, just wonderful having you here, and I'm just excited to have you along with me and with us in this this community, this growing community that we have here. So appreciate all the support and appreciate everyone being involved. Wanted to really continue to talk about some of the basic framework of that awakening stage and some of the basic stuff that I learned from Robin Amos, really. So I've got notes here from my time there in England at Three Barns. With Robin and Lillian and a few people there who are with me. These some of these notes here just have blown me away, and I just really want to share those with you. So, and ultimately what we're doing is we're working toward our own retreats here as we extend our live streams and maybe even some Zoom conferences here soon so that we can have more contact with one another. And so I'm looking forward to highlighting some of you on this channel, maybe doing some Zoom interviews with you. So just looking forward to sharing this with you, and wanted to kind of give an overall theme to what we're doing here today. One of the things that Robin reiterated time and time again was the idea that humanity is an animal. And all of our work is about changing this situation. And that's a quote from Robin. Humanity is an animal, and all our work is about changing this situation. This got my attention. And one particular point in one of the talks in the 2005 retreat that I had with him, he talked about this in terms of the general purpose of all of our existence here. And it'd be nice to say, this is my cosmic job, this is my purpose in life. And so I've got an answer for you according to Robin. He said that our purpose, what we are born with, is to attain theosis, divinization. Now, this term theosis is something which obviously is something that is foreign to anyone who is from the Catholic tradition, because in the Catholic tradition there's only one person who can attain that, and that is someone with Pope in front of their name. And in Protestantism there is not even an inkling of this, because in Protestantism all it is, with the exception of maybe the Quakers, all it is just imitating right moral behavior, and we're just imitating other people. And we have to get through the layers of all this garbage that we have grown up with. And what Robin says is that we need to build a coherent, integrated structure for the psyche and then deliver it to God. He says this is what makes us human beings different from animals. And this is our purpose, to attain this. And this is really what he's talking about here in terms of developing the magnetic center and developing this. And I want to reiterate that this channel and all the teachings that we're sharing here are going to be very, very practical. And at the heart of it is this idea that you need to be able to begin to discern where your path takes you. And this means you have to begin to experiment with certain things in terms of your prayer life. There's no one way to pray. But when in doubt, prayer is the only answer. If you have any doubt about where to go, this is not just some intellectual game that we're playing here, which you can attain a book after book on all this stuff, and it means nothing unless it transfers over to your life and it changes you from the inside out. Right? This has to change you into a vehicle for the love of God, so that God's light shines through you like stained glass window. And this is essentially just getting the mud and the dust and the dirt off your stained glass window so that God can shine through you. But you have to be able to experiment with these. Let me give you, for instance, when I was there with Robin, he didn't say, do this, do that, do this. And even in terms of breathing, a way of breathing, general way of posture, where my head is tilted. But the key is this: no one teaches you prayer. Prayer teaches prayer, and this is where the esoteric part of this comes into play. It's all about you, and it's all about you finding your rhythm, and it's all about you finding your groove, finding your path, finding your own way through this. And you have to find your own way. Now, another, for instance, here recently for me, I have just gotten into more of nutritional background, nutritional way of thinking about this in terms of my own health. So I have started to do breathing exercises in terms of concentrated deep breathing during prayer, during the day, before I go to bed. So those are things that you can investigate in terms of deep breathing. It's very popular right now in terms of the deep breathing. That is one thing. I have begun to watch what I eat in a much more focused way, and I'm eating a lot more non-processed food. I have hardly any dairy. I have hardly any sugar anymore. I'm eating a tremendous amount of fruit and vegetables, non-dairy stuff, and I have those in a smoothie actually. And I've been eating those for a month, and it's really changed my mood in terms of my being able to relax. It's lowered my blood pressure. We have to be able to look at the body in terms of controlling it. Another thing that I've been doing is I've been taking cold showers. Cold showers lower the blood pressure. It helps with swelling. It allows your body to cool off in a way which is it's really been very, very effective in terms of my own prayer life. So those are things that I am experimenting with, and I'm sharing those with you in terms of what I'm doing. You have to find your own way, and you have to experiment in terms of your own life. There's no book on this in terms of what to do. I can just share with you what I'm doing. And that's what Robin was about, because each one of us is on our own path. And each one of us has to sit here and say, we have to be able to control the body, and so that it's not guiding us anymore. Especially in America, in terms of our diet, so much of our life is really dictated by our hunger and by our bodies. And to some extent, we are really addicted to just absolute processed junk food. And I think that there's a certain amount of detoxifying that has to take place in order for us to really be able to sit down calmly during prayer and do this. So you're going to have to find ways in which you find your own path. All of these ideas in terms of diet and nutrition are merely suggestions for me. So you have to find your own way, as I said. And a lot of times the way I do that is I'm able to find something I'm very interested in, and I'm drawn to it because it sounds fascinating to me, and I'm just attracted to that idea. So that is one of the things, when I see something, I'm like, I want to try that. I want to try that. It's just, it's happened with the nutrition and my eating, because I've never had that taught to me so much. But Robin really was continually talking about how the body has to be guided. The body has to be guided in terms of being taken out of its patterns. Because when we get into patterns, then we get comfortable. And when we get comfortable, we don't learn. So taking the body out of its normal comfort zone, whether it's exercise, or whether it's eating habits, whether it is smoothies or cold showers or running or weightlifting, it doesn't matter. It's all about taking the body and saying to the body, you are not in control. You are going to go this way. And as we talked about, not allowing any one of the three centers to have the voice, because when you do, then one of those centers is directing at any given time, and you work from the memory of that one center, and all you're doing is working from memory. If we are going to build a magnetic center, and we are going to be magnetized toward God and allow love to breathe through us, shine through us, then you have to have some control over that. And you have to have some sense that this is the way to go. And this even gets into thoughts, and this gets into how our daydreams control us. But it's all about this idea that you have to have discipline in your life. Charles Ashton used to tell me, there is no character without discipline. You have to have discipline. And that's one of the things that was missing in my life, was that my thoughts and my body and everything else was just completely undisciplined. And I needed to have that sense of dedication to that no, not everything goes. Not all thoughts need to be entertained. I need to give my body a sense that it's not in control. I have to have that sense of a control center where it's controlling all those three centers. Otherwise, I am being led around by emotions, by fears, by all kinds of negative thoughts. And before you know it, I'm an old man and I've wasted my time here on this earth. And our birthright, as Robin would say, and Charles would say, and I'm saying, our birthright is theosis. Our birthright is we are a child of God. And I have a feeling that more and more here, as we progress here in the next few months and years, that folks need to realize that there is something that is inside you which is royal, has much more dignity than you are giving it credit for. And you need to realize that you have something inside you that is royal, that it is kingly, it is magnificent, it is holy. And if we continue to just live our life in daydreams, and we're not disciplined, and we just live through the intellect or through the negative emotions or through our body, and we don't have that discipline to coordinate them all and then move out into the world being magnetized toward God, we cannot realize that holiness that is not in an evangelical way, but that holiness which is within us, that is waiting to come out, waiting to be born again. And that is the story of the, as we near Christmas here, that is the story of the birth of Christ. You know, the story of the birth of Christ is fascinating when you look at the three kings. Those are the three sinners. And that baby Jesus is the Logos. That baby Jesus is the magnetic sinner, born in a stable, born within flesh, born within with dirt and muck and all the pitfalls and all the smells and all the, it is earth, it is body, it is flesh. That sense that whole scene of Christ being born is all about what we're talking about. The three sinners all being coordinated, going to one place with the Star of Bethlehem over it. That Star of Bethlehem is what? That Star of Bethlehem is the nebula, is the energy that rises within your solar plexus as you pray and as you build that energy. That is the Star of Bethlehem. That's all this esoteric meaning behind the birth of Christ. It is all about you awakening, purifying, and illuminating toward the stage of theosis. That's all that is. It doesn't have to be an actual birth of Christ. That's what it's about. And as we look on all of this, and we see all of these things in our society, in people's yards and in churches, we just put up our manger scene at church. It's all about that. The baby Jesus is the magnetic sinner. The baby Jesus is the Logos that has to be protected, right? That Joseph and Mary have to be, right? Yin and yang. They have to come together, and they have to protect that child and raise it up and let it grow and realize its holiness, its royalty, because it's born holy. We each have that element of the holy within us, and we see that in the first chapter of John. We see that throughout Gnosticism, and that's what the beauty of Gnosticism really is based on, this idea that each one of us has this. And no, it's not just in one person who lives in Rome. It's within each one of us. And that's really the difference between Orthodoxy and Catholicism. That's a deep, deep division there. One which I find very, very plain. And I'm on this Orthodox side of this. It's, as Charles would say, that's heretical to think that only one person can get close to God. It's absolutely absurd to think that only one person can get close to God. You can get close to God just as close as Christ. And not imitating Christ, not being a prototype, but being our own version of it. And that's where the love comes through. That's where the love transforms us. But all of this is about you doing one thing. When in doubt, do one thing. Pray. Just go and pray. Don't worry about figuring it out, writing it out, keeping score, making sure you do whatever. You have to experiment in your own life. But when in doubt, pray, 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 pray. Prayer teaches prayer. Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. And that is the key to all this. And the next live stream is going to start off with a short meditation that we're going to have together. So just know that this is all about you getting closer to God, awakening that magnetic center within you, and allowing prayer to teach prayer in your life so that you can move toward the goal of theosis in your life. And that's what all this is about. So excited to share all this with you. And next time you see a manger scene, realize that is, those wise men are the three sinners. And that's the Logos there, that baby Jesus. That's the magnetic center. All right. Blessings to you. Remember, this Sunday, November 28th at 10 a.m. Central Time here in the States, 10 a.m. Central on November 28th, the Sunday morning live stream. Look for it and participate. And just so wonderful to have you here with me. Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas to you. All right. I'll see you guys soon. All right. Bye-bye.